Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Anubis, the gamer Archer, here with a brand new video for you guys today. I hope you're all having a good ass day. We're feeling good, looking and smelling good, and welcome to the channel. If you're not feeling good, hopefully today's content will make you feel a little bit better. If you're not smelling good, go wash your ass. Anyway, today we're talking about Rey. Hope you guys enjoyed the previous video. We're talking about Finn. I'm sure it rubs some feathers the wrong way. I don't care. Sometimes you gotta push the envelope or push people's emotions to get a point across. But today's video, we're gonna talk about Rey Skywalker. I know some people, when I just said that name, just got a little tilted because Rey's a very controversial topic. A lot of people in the Star Wars community just don't like that character. But today's video isn't about Rey in a negative light. Today I want to be positive towards Rey. In general, I kind of want to be positive towards Star Wars as a whole. I don't want Star Wars month to be about negativity. We need to breathe, positivity into, these communities, because there's too much toxicity in a lot of these nerd culture communities. When it comes to Rey is, across the board hated by a lot of people. She's one of the most disliked characters in all of Star Wars, and a lot of it isn't her fault. Rey as a character, it's just that she's just a character. Someone wrote her, someone created her, so you can't really blame her for how things went. I think generally the template of Rey is actually a good template. I think that the idea of Rey is a good idea, and when it comes to her being a Palpatine, and people get mad at that, is that any real difference between what Anakin was? I think it's mostly still like rumored or speculated and not like confirmed by George Lucas on who actually created Anakin. But like the general consensus is that either Palpatine manipulated the Force to give Anakin's mom a Force baby, or Plagueis is the one who did it. That's kind of like what the general thought is one of those two. Either Plagueis did it or Palpatine did it. So Rey, being created by Palpatine isn't really, that insane of a thought or crazy of a thing. And you get people who hear that and they're like, well, she shouldn't be, basically a second coming of Anakin, because Anakin's a beloved character and Rey isn't. I think that a lot of the times when it comes to Rey is people are very close-minded to the idea of Rey. She often gets touted as this Mary Sue character, but if we're being realistic or being honest, that's kind of how all main characters are. And I won't say all, but most main characters in cinema and video games are indeed, a Mary Sue character. But we as fans, we cherry pick, if we're okay with a character being a Mary Sue character or not. We cherry pick if we like that. We cherry pick a lot of things. We cherry pick if we enjoy aggression from our heroes. An example I'll give with that is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is often hated, and I asked one of my friends why he doesn't like Captain Marvel, and he said because he doesn't like how arrogant she is. And I respond to him like, why is arrogance for her a bad thing, but okay for other popular male characters? And this isn't about like y'all don't talk about when people mention difference between men and women in any form of context. But generally, when it came to, like, let's say Iron Man, the first 3 movies of Iron Man, he's an arrogant douche who's a drunk. He doesn't become the Iron Man we fall in love with in terms of him being a good person until the Avengers movies. And even when it came to that, it was more so until he met Peter Parker. But before that, he's an arrogant douche who sleeps around with women. He just wasn't a good guy, air quotes, when it comes to his personality. You also have one of the most popular characters in anime, Vegeta. He's a very arrogant dude. There's a lot of arrogance when it comes to like a lot of the popular characters throughout, anime, cartoons, TV shows, movies, but they don't get the same, I don't like them because they're arrogant reply that you would get with some female characters. And I kind of feel like when it came to Rey, it's the same thing when it comes to her being Mary Sue. It's not that she's a female that's why people are mad. People dislike her because Star Wars has historically had very strong, well-loved female characters, but most of them have been side characters. When it comes to Rey, I feel like her issue isn't even that she's Mary Sue. I just feel like she wasn't fully explained enough. I feel like if you explain Rey in a better way, a better light, it will be easier to palate her character. It might not make her great, it might not make her even good, but it'll make her more palatable if you could understand her character in a better way. And during my live stream a week ago, someone was asking about Rey and asking how is it that she was able to, like, with fight against Kylo Ren with very little training and whatnot, excluding the fact that she did receive some training from Luke at a later date. The thing about Rey is that everyone knows when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Force users, everyone has like their own unique ability. Darth Vader, his unique ability was the Darth Choke. There could be other people throughout the mythos who has used it, but for Darth Vader, his unique ability that people associated him with was his Dark Choke. When it came to Palpatine, even though many Sith can use electricity, when it hit his Force shocking, it was his unique ability. Every Jedi has like Jedi and Sith have like their own little unique, force power. Kylo Ren, his was ability to freeze things. That's his unique ability. Rey's unique ability was with her mind. If she can use her mind to basically just to study or learn or copy someone else's force abilities, as they know. Kind of think about it again. I'm going to use anime as an example. Think about Kakashi and Naruto. In Naruto, Kakashi Sensei, he has the Sharingan, and everyone has the Sharingan. Everyone who's a Uchiha has the Sharingan, but he's not Uchiha. But Kakashi's nickname is a copycat ninja because he just copies other people's moves with the Sharingan. You can do that. Think about Rey in that same kind of sense, where if a Force user is in close contact with her, she can copy their moves or study or learn them with her Force mind abilities. And I feel like that's actually like a pretty cool ability. I feel like that's a pretty cool idea. I think generally the idea of someone being able to copy the abilities of another Force user or to learn the Force through them being in close contact with you is actually a pretty cool idea. Now, was it executed perfectly? Probably not. You could say that when it came to Rey, it wasn't executed in the best way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Rey is the problem, or that her ability is a problem, because I think it's a cool idea. The example I gave was that when she was captured by Kylo and he had her like strapped up and he was like interrogating her, and during that process she's learning how to be a Jedi through Kylo torturing her. Not the torture itself is making her is how she learns to be a Jedi, but like him using his abilities, she's using her mind abilities unintentionally, maybe, and just learning what he learned, and that could lead that's what led to Rey being able to use the Force in a way that she was able to do it. We also have to understand that when it comes to these main characters, they learn at a faster rate than a normal character would. Again, I'm going to use Anakin as an example. Anakin, he was one of the strongest characters in Star Wars, even while he wasn't even a Jedi Master. You get to Attack of the Clones, the movie, and Anakin was a powerful character. Even the Jedi Council were definitely well aware that Anakin was a threat, even though he wasn't a Jedi Master yet. They still view him as a threat because he was just a very powerful character. And it just happens in like all of these TV shows and movies and video games, is where a lot of the times you get soaked into a power fantasy. Now the downside to it when it came to Rey is that she didn't have the humanization that people wanted her to have, as in her taking defeats. And a lot of people want to see heroes lose. She did have some humanization. What that means is, in cinema, directors want to make sure a character feels human. They cry, they go through emotions, they have feelings and things like that. We're seeing people who don't understand that get mad at it, but generally is used on purpose, because if people want to be able to connect with the character. If they can't connect with a character, they won't like a character. In order to connect with a character, you gotta humanize that character. In the Halo TV series, I'll use an example. They're humanizing Master Chief. Chief is showing a lot of emotion. He's out of his armor a lot on purpose. The directors want you to be able to see him as a human. And Rey, she had a lot of those moments as well, but she's not losing. And because she's not losing enough in terms of like combat, generally a lot of the times when she's fighting people, she wins or it's a stalemate. People want to see her take some defeats, and I feel like that's just not realistic. I think generally when it comes to the character of Rey, a lot of the opinions on her isn't rational, isn't consistent, and isn't realistic. I don't think Rey's a bad character. I don't like as she is, she's not a bad character. I don't think I don't think she's like an amazing character either, by the way. I'm not saying like Rey is the best character in Star Wars, because you know, whenever you defend a character, people just instantly assume that, you know, you're a fanboy of a character, or you're calling this character the best character. I'm not even a fan of Rey in particular. You know, my favorite character in Star Wars is Darth Vader, you know, and after Darth Vader is Galen Merrick, and after Galen Merrick is Revan, you know. So like, it's not like Rey is like my favorite character in Star Wars, and I'm sitting here trying to defend Rey and like, y'all need to like the character that I like. I think Rey's an okay character. You know, she's not on top 5 for best character in Star Wars, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's a bad character. I'll tell you this right now, not everything has to be for everybody. Not everything has to be for you. The character of Rey doesn't necessarily have to be liked by you, but she is like other people. There's a lot of people out there, especially little girls, who love Rey. You know, there's a lot of little girls who go to the, you know, Galaxy's Edge or Disney World dressed as Rey. They're Rey fans, and that's cool. You know, because at the end of the day, when it comes to any kind of fan base, it has to sustain itself. And to sustain yourself, you have to have new characters who people of younger ages are into. You know, you can't live off the original trilogy. You need to be able to get people who are alive in 2022 into your franchise, and the way to do that is by having characters who people can look at and want to aspire to be like, or, you know, enjoy. And Rey, for a lot of little girls, has been that. Maybe some little boys as well. So I don't think it's right to just always be so negative towards the character Rey. And I had a conversation with a buddy of mine. He's a massive Star Wars fan. He's kind of an older guy too, so he was watching Star Wars back before I was even born. I'm 30. He's like, I think mid 40s, maybe 50s. He's an older guy, and you know, he was watching Star Wars. I think he's in his 50s. I don't remember, but like, he just in general, when Star Wars first came out, the original trilogy came out, he was around. Let's go with that. And we were having a discussion a few days ago about how I think that most people who hate the new trilogy or the recent trilogy won't even hate it in a few years, because the way fans work is over time, our opinions change. When the prequels came out, people hated the prequels. At least they remember hating the prequels. But now people who watch prequels love the prequels. It changed mostly because what I pointed out to him was, it's all about age. When we watch the prequels, a lot of us were still teenagers and kids. But as adults who watch prequels, we understand it better. We reason with it better. You know, I used to always say I hated Phantom Menace because I didn't like pod racing. I didn't like Anakin's actor. And then I watched it again as an adult, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty good movie. The kid is a kid. You know, Anakin's character is just a kid, acting like a kid. So I hated this kid, you know, when I first saw this movie, because he was being a kid. Whereas like now I understand the character better, I understand children better, I understand writing better, I understand directing better, so I understood the movie better. Attack of the Clones, generally a very good movie. The only thing that I didn't like about Attack of the Clones was the romance scenes in that movie felt very cringy. And even to this day, I've watched it multiple times and it still seems very cringy, but the movie itself is pretty freaking good. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie. Not my favorite movie all the time, my favorite Star Wars movie. My favorite movie all the time is Godfather, but Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. I love that movie. The movie's great to me. You know, mostly because the fight scenes are phenomenal. The screenplay is great. There's a lot about Revenge of the Sith that I enjoy. So me and Rex we're having this conversation, and he's like, yeah, he when he rewatched the prequels, he enjoyed them better. He also said that he didn't even dislike the current films, you know, the last 3 films. He said he didn't have any issues with it. Like, he said he had some issues with them, but he didn't hate them, he didn't dislike them. And he agrees with me that in a few years people are going to rewatch those, you know, the prequel trilogy, the prequel sequels, not the original trilogy sequels. People are going to rewatch the last 3 films, and they're going to enjoy it and look back on it in a more positive note than they do now. And I told him I feel like a lot of the hate that the most recent films get is because our own expectations. You look at Finn, we assumed Finn would be a Jedi. We assumed Finn would be an important character. We assumed all these things because the first film gave us this idea that we wanted to expand on. The first film was very good when it came to J.J. Abrams his take. And then the second film kind of just threw Finn to the side, threw Fast to the side, and wasn't what we expected. We as fans, we wanted something else because we made ourselves believe what those three films were going to be. We saw videos on YouTube, these lore videos, these leak videos, things like that made us want to believe that there's going to be more in these films than what there's going to be. We see this in Marvel as well. When people watch WandaVision, you see all these videos about WandaVision saying there's gonna be nightmares in WandaVision. There's gonna be Mephisto in WandaVision. There's gonna be an X-Men character in WandaVision. There's gonna be this and this in WandaVision. Then it didn't happen. People got mad. It's gonna be all people watch these videos on YouTube that speculates and throws rumors out there, telling you this is who's gonna be in these movies and in these TV shows that are not there. Then we get mad. We're mad at the directors, we're mad at Marvel, we're mad at Disney, we're mad at Lucasfilms, we're mad at everyone other than ourselves because we wanted something that was never going to be there to begin with. And so I'll wrap this video up by just saying, be more open-minded when it comes to characters, be more open-minded when it comes to Rey, because I don't think Rey's a bad character. I don't think she's like the best character in Star Wars. I don't think she's the most amazing character in Star Wars. I don't think she's, again, she's not my top 5. Not even my top 10. But I do think she's better than people give her credit for. Rey's not a bad character. And I think people should be more minded about her. And generally, the most I enjoy Rey, she's actually really fun to play in Battlefront 2. Which is the gameplay you're seeing in the background is me playing Rey in Battlefront 2. She's like the third most fun character in that game to me. The first being Vader and Anakin. Those two characters are fun as hell to play as. And you can argue that Anakin is probably the best character in the entire game when it comes to heroes and villains. But Rey's fun. Kylo's fun too. But Rey's really fun. Just be more open-minded. Rey's not a bad character. And I feel like people are just very close-minded to the character. But with all that said, being your boy, Anubis the Gamer Archer, hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Follow me on Twitch. Link to me Twitch, watch below. So we'll do on screen right now. Streaming Monday, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. All month we're playing Star Wars games. So come by, hang out, chit chat, all that good stuff. Y'all be safe. Y'all be content with another. Being your boy, Anubis. Deuces.